Hello and welcome to the FilmBunker Podcast. My name is Nick, and today is a very special podcast. We're doing a bit of a Halloween special. So I've got some Halloween-themed names for everyone that's joining me today. So I'm joined by Die Hall.
Yes,
it worked. It worked.
Karen Cursed You Kerr.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
that worked pretty well.
Ben Axley.
Hey, easy, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And Kelsey Clark.
Not bad.
Yeah, so for some reason both of you are very death-themed.
I mean, I have an axe, apparently, so that's nice.
Yeah, I'm the only Wiccan one.
Yeah, you're the magic-y witch type one.
I'm the mage.
I'm just an executioner.
I'm just all about killing people.
Yeah, I just go
Very
with
accurate.
an axe.
Yeah.
That works.
So I think we were going to just start off with some reviews today, specifically for Sabrina, because that just came out.
Yeah, and it's spooky themed.
Spoopy. Very spoopy.
Spooks.
Cookie spooks.
So myself, Karen, and Ben have seen it. So what did you two think?
All of
Because I
them,
really
yeah.
liked it.
I liked it. I think there was stuff I liked and stuff I didn't like, but it's compelled me enough to keep watching it.
Yeah.
Is it Riverdale vibes?
I don't think so, honestly.
It takes a lot of the kind of pseudo retro vibe from Riverdale.
Yeah, right.
But they actually amp it up. So Riverdale
The
is
vibe, not so much the kind of interpersonal.
No.
Oh,
So
God, no.
they amp up the kind of retro aesthetic, but they play down the interpersonal whining
Drama.
of
Excellent. The
teenage
worst
people.
part of
Yeah.
Riverdale. Cool.
There's still a little bit of it, but it's done a bit better, I feel.
Yeah, it is, and there's a lot more adults, I think, that
Yes.
get to
Yeah,
play
that's
in
pretty
it.
much it.
Like Sabrina and maybe Harvey are the only real teenage leads.
From what we've seen so
Yeah.
far.
From what we've seen so far, like she does have friends, but they're kind of just they're my mortal friends. So I think that
Mostly Harvey.
yeah.
Is
Like
Harvey
that.
a tossper?
No, he seems alright.
He's a bit dumb. I mean,
Well,
Harvey's
Harvey's
always
always
dumb.
dumb.
He's
Yeah.
always dumb. I just forgot that when I was watching it. I was like, oh no, Harvey is meant to be a
Harvey
bit of an
was-
idiot.
Yeah. Salem's the MVP though. Salem
Yeah.
is
Salem's
adorable.
done well. I like how they made him like a familiar, which is
Yes.
just a cool little concept to fix the problem of not having a talking cat.
But what about the animatronic cat? I miss him.
He was wisecracking too, right?
No,
Yeah.
It was really smart to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And basically make a character that replaces
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
with
did.
the cousin. I
Who's-
feel-
Ambrose.
Ambrose.
Yeah.
He's great. He's
Yeah.
fantastic.
He's good. He's basically Salem now.
Yeah,
He is.
But they've just split it up into a cute little kitty cat that can kick ass and a man who's on house arrest with
Yeah,
them.
Salem
so
fights demons.
What's not to love? Yeah.
Salem fights
Yeah.
demons. It's pretty
I like
cool.
it.
It's pretty cool.
Exactly. All the acting's great. The cast is great.
Karen
Zelda.
Shipka is amazing as Sabrina.
Oh, she carries the whole thing.
Yeah.
As she should. Zelda and Hilda
I
are
love
also
them,
great.
yeah.
They're wonderful.
Oh, and Michelle Gomez is delicious.
Yes.
She is just delicious in everything. So, and the thing is, she was playing a bumbling kind of school teacher to start with, and I was like, nah, Michelle Gomez, this isn't you. Some shit's gonna happen. And shit happened, and I was like, yes, she's back.
Like, really quickly.
Delicious. Yeah, really quickly. They just went, nah, we've got
first
Michelle.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got Michelle Gomez. We've got to hammer her up, and it was like, yes.
Yeah, she gets to ham every scene she's in it.
Yeah, and it's great.
It's always a bit... It's a very campy kind of vibe sometimes, which I don't mind. every
Oh
now
no,
and
it
then.
needs to be campy.
Yeah, no, I like that they did that, because I was expecting it to be a lot more horror-esque. It's actually not that scary, honestly.
Do they have like vibes of humor and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Still in it?
Oh, yeah,
or-
definitely, yeah.
It's not
It's obviously
a
toned
humorous
down a
show.
lot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
toned down. It's not a comedy show, but they still have little moments of humor. And I think a lot of it is that camping up of things.
It is, yeah.
Like, they make... Every character's a kind of a little bit of a caricature, but in a good way. Every character's above, more than what they would be. They're very, what's the word? Exaggerated.
Yeah.
But I find that I like it. I like
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And yeah, Hilda and Zelda are great.
Yeah, they have a great chemistry with
They
each other.
really
They are
do.
hilarious.
They are great.
Yeah.
They have a great chemistry with each other, a great chemistry with Sabrina,
Mm-hmm.
and you can really believe them as witches that serve as the Dark Lord but are also okay.
Every time they say the Dark Lord, I keep thinking Voldemort.
I love,
Yeah.
like, I
God
love
damn it.
at moments when they actually say, like, praise Satan. It's
yeah, I
great.
know, right?
Yeah.
And the magic in it's done really well because I feel like they haven't gone really over the top with it, and it's more
not really
like
about
casting.
magic,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's more like from what we've seen so far, it's like casting a spell, and not as much of like the just like twingling of the finger
Yeah,
and something
yeah.
happens. Like
Yeah.
she does it once or twice.
No, there's all like proper incantations and
like summoning spells.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's all very
Curses
ritualistic and specific. It's treated more like a religion, honestly.
And I really like that. I liked all of the witchy things about it because it seemed very almost genuine in a sense. It seemed like it was a lot more believable because they do get all the ingredients together and they do go through and talk about, you know, with the curses, it's basically like a medical regime of what you have to do to get rid of it. And it's really, I love it too. It's really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'll see where it goes though, because I think that at the moment the main concept of it, which isn't a spoiler because it's just in the trailer, is that she will have to choose between, do I want to stay on my mortal side or do I want to have this dark baptism and become a full-on witch and can't see any of my mortal friends?
I wonder what she picks.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, when she picks, like, can I go back to my mortal side eventually? It's just like, oh, we have to go through this whole, which one should I be? And it's like, I want to see more witchy stuff.
The mortal stuff is boring, right?
Yeah.
This is human problems.
Oh yeah,
We don't watch TV for human
I will
problems.
admit there is some subplots with like the mortal friends, and it's a bit.
Yeah.
pretty
The
average.
first subplot is it's not great, but it's really quick.
It is quick. I'll give it that. It's
and
a nice
it does
break.
serve a purpose.
I know it does. It does give
Because she
it.
thinks she's going to leave and she's doing it to kind of set up to
Yeah.
help her friends if she leaves.
Yeah, I get that, and it's a nice break to beyond all the witchy stuff and the weird house and everything else like that. It's just a bit honestly.
Yeah, and I feel like as the group of teenagers, if I'm being really
They're not that
nitpicky, they're not that great.
They're not.
They don't even speak like teenagers. They
Nah.
speak like Tumblr users. They're
They
all
do.
woke AF,
They
you
really
know?
do.
And it just really annoys me a little bit because they're talking about like, oh, we're going to smash against the patriarchy. It's like, no one talks like that in real life.
Yeah, it
Not
goes
like 16-year-olds.
It
No.
goes from woke AF to screw the white patriarchy.
Yeah,
It's really odd.
it's odd. And they look like people that could come from Tumblr blogs, though.
They do.
They even look like it.
They do.
It's a bit annoying.
But it rushes past really quick.
Yeah.
It's not.
It doesn't
really
linger
about that.
too long.
Not really, no.
It doesn't take up too much screen time, so
Yeah.
you can kind of get through it and be like, okay, yeah, cool, that's done.
Yeah. And it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't sit on any specific idea for too long. It all
No.
goes through very quick.
It just kind of makes me want to choose the Dark Lord more. Hail Satan.
It's always the right choice.
Watch the second episode. It's a bit weird. Anyway, it's good. I don't like some of the editing in it.
Yeah, the
blur.
The blur effect I
Yeah.
hate so much.
we brushed over that.
I was like, I'm gonna bring that up because I really hate it. They pretty much put on this slight blur effect anytime there's something magical kind of happening, or if someone magical's in a room.
Oh, that's
But it's
lazy.
very inconsistent, and it's just looks crap.
Yeah, sometimes it's really heavy, and
Yes.
you're only getting like the person in the center of the screen in focus, and everything else is blurred.
Yikes. Feels like that's kind of one of the one things you would want to nail in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
It looks like an
Is the
afterthought.
The magic look good.
That specific thing, I think. seems
Everything
like an
else looks
afterthought.
good.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's really
It
good. It's
all
just
looks
this
really
blur.
good. It's just this blur they've
But
put
they
on
just
the
use it
camera.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the blur also annoys me because the set design is gorgeous and I want to see
And I wanna
more
see
of
it,
it.
yeah.
And like when she's in her bedroom, we haven't seen her bedroom yet, and there's a blur around it. And I'm like,
I
but
mean,
I
we've
want to
seen
see
it,
her.
but we can't
you've
see
seen
it
it.
properly.
You've seen it,
Can't,
yeah.
No, but you can't make anything
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Can't make anything out because it's either too dark and the set design, like I said, is gorgeous. So I want to see the set
Yeah.
that they built and what it looks like in the atmosphere. I don't want to see
This blurry
blur.
crap thing.
Yeah.
I just hate when they'll do the blur effect and then it'll be a conversation, so it'll go back and forth between, and on one person it'll be blurry and the other person will be clear, and it's like, it's just it's weird.
Interesting.
It's really
Yeah.
stupid.
I'm hoping it tones down as it goes along a bit.
Maybe they're just finding their...
I hope they just scrap that. It's a nitpicky thing, but they just use it so often and it's so obvious, and it's like, can you just stop?
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's at times where it feels like it can work, but then there's other times where it's like way too heavy.
Again, I think it's inconsistent in terms of when they use it.
Yeah.
And if they use it, it's got to be a specific rule as to when.
But that's my only real big downfall with it as well.
Yeah.
is that's the only real problem I have with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm intrigued to watch the rest of the season, but if it does a second season, I don't know if I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna wait for this for however long if that takes.
It's a casual viewer.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know where it's gonna go, honestly, though.
Well, with Netflix series, I find that the first few episodes are always the ones that you have to get through. And by the time you hit episode 5, you are so invested. You're just like, ready to go. And I feel like with Sabrina, if it's hooked you enough to go, I'll watch the rest of the series, you'll probably, by the end of it, with the way they may amp it up, go, second season, I hope it comes soon. But,
it's, look, I'm 2 episodes in. I don't know how it'll go, but I know I was more excited in the first episode and the second episode. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not... Like, stuff happens, but in terms of formula, it follows a very similar thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that kind of makes sense with where the story's going at that point anyway.
It knows what it is, basically.
Yeah.
Otherwise, would recommend for spoopy scares at Halloween.
Spoopy scares. And going from a witch to a devil.
Uh-huh.
Daredevil season 3 is out. Yeah.
I was really slow to that. He's the scariest person of all. Hail Satan. Dark Lord. Anyway.
Daredevil season 3 is out. It is great. I highly recommend watching it. I'm personally putting out on this platform for everyone to watch it so that he doesn't get cancelled as well.
No, he's not going to get cancelled.
No, he's not going to get cancelled. He'll be fine, I think, if any of them are. But it's really, really good. And it's such a relief that it's really good after Defenders and Luke Cage season 2.
And also season 2 of Daredevil.
Season 2 of Daredevil was 50% great.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, which
but
is not good.
Yeah, but all the good bits weren't Daredevil. They were Punisher.
Yeah, and then Punisher was fantastic.
Fair.
And I do want to see more Punisher. And it's actually making me want another season of Punisher watching this season of Daredevil. But what's good news is there isn't any of the ninja stuff from season 2. No, the hand. No Elektra. He's kind of a bit sad about Elektra for the first episode, but he kind of gets over it pretty quickly, which is great to see. No pun intended. Sorry, you're blind, Matt. And he's still the whiniest part, but he's got enough people around him that kind of take him down a peg now that it actually makes it more palatable.
The nun is awesome.
She's
The
great.
nun
She's so
is
good.
ace.
Sister Maddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Is it Maggie?
Maggie.
Yeah.
Sister Maggie's ace. So I find that, they've taken him down a peg or 2, and that's been really good for his character. Because in season 2, he did get a little bit overwhelmingly idiotic.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, I'm only up to 5 or 4 or whatever, and like I was getting really frustrated at the beginning of the whole arc that I knew had to come of, rising back up and getting there sort of thing, and I was getting a little frustrated right at the beginning, worrying that he was going to be like that again, where it was just woe is me and the hero's punishment sort of thing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm glad they didn't harp on too long. I love Kingpin. He's like
amazing.
My favorite part of it. So I'm so glad that he's back and that he's sort of got this really interesting storyline with where they're going to take him. And I really like Foggy as well. So I hope he kind of gets an interesting arc as well.
I think Foggy is a little bit of the third wheel right now. And I think that he, even in the comics, he's reduced to the supportive best friend, whether he knows Matt's Daredevil or not. And I do like him, but I do think that...
I feel like in the show he probably has more personality than he does in the comics anyway.
Yeah, and that's like what's her name? Karen.
Karen Page,
Yeah.
Same
Karen's
thing.
great. I like Karen in this season because they've taken a lot from her from The Punisher. And she was really good in The Punisher, so I'm glad they've taken her kind of arc through. She's not just the worried best friend anymore.
Yeah, she's useful now,
She's
which
really
is so good
useful.
because I was getting sick of her too, and she was super weepy as well. She just cried all the time. I'm like, yay, go women. And so now I'm actually glad she's intelligent and doing something useful.
Yeah, and she was part of the best part of season 2 as well. So I think that they've really amped her up since season 1, and they've made her an engaging character that I'm happy to see more of. Whereas in season 1 and the beginning of season 2, I was going, do we have to spend time with Karen again? But Bullseye also is amazing.
I love him. He's cool.
He is so cool. I just like how they...
Very little we've seen of him.
Yeah, I like how they introduced him. I like how they've touched on his character a little bit in the first few episodes to kind of give us hints of who he is, and it's just intriguing, and they've just done him so well.
I was really interested in the whole again, I think I might be a little bit behind where you've watched up to, but they kind of introduced that FBI agent a lot and like gave you some backstory there. And I thought straight away, because I knew the villain was going to be Bullseye, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's him or something. And then it kind of progressed along, and then we met Bullseye afterwards, and he just like dominated all those people.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. And then you can just see this edge to him in this unstable situation that he's in as well, being still working for the FBI. I don't know. I was really interested how they did that, because I thought, oh yeah, they're setting up the new, sub bad guy, I guess. And then I don't know, they flipped it on its head. I really liked that.
I really like that as well. I'm hoping that what's his name, Ray Nadeem doesn't turn evil, because
I don't think he
Me
will.
too.
But
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think
he'll go down the path, and then he'll kind of back out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that he's trying his best, and I think they would be stupid to bring him down that path of evil too far.
Yeah, it'd be really cliche if they took him down that road and made him evil. It'd just be way too obvious.
I think so too. Yeah, because I think that's why they spent a decent amount of time with him at the start too, like to introduce the family and the financial issues and not getting promoted because of the financial issues and all that sort of stuff. I think they want you to set up to see that he could be easily manipulated by Kingpin, but that maybe that's not gonna happen.
But he's going to be able to. He has the morals
Humanity
to
will
go.
prevail.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So I know Karen's got some little segments she wants to do, Halloween spooky segments.
Halloween spooky segments.
It was the Monster Mash.
Oh dear God, no.
Yes, because anything can happen on Halloween.
Let's stop now.
Yeah,
You can
all
stop
right.
now.
No, I'm just so excited for the spooky season. So, because of the spooky season,
We're in Australia, by the way. We don't even really do Halloween.
I
It's
do.
getting bigger here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still an American thing. Anyway, shut up.
So one of the Halloween staples, for me at least, is good old Stevie King. Stephen King has brought out so many. Simon's just looked at my notes, by the way,
There's
and
a
he's
lot of,
just
there's a lot of
as
head
confused.
shaking going
is
on.
happening?
Yeah, right. So Stephen King is a prolific author, has also screenwritten a couple of films. He's had
just
lots
a
of
few.
film adaptations
anything
as
big?
well. Oh, I'm not sure really. Maybe we'll talk about a couple of those later.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Pre-underground stuff, but anyway.
But he does have some underground stuff because he writes so much, not all of it can be good.
Fair.
So I have 3 story kind of tagline story concepts here. And you guys need to guess which one is one that I just pulled out of my buttocks and which are the actual Stephen King
So only one.
stories.
So only one of them is fake.
Only one of them is fake.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Out of
Out of 3.
Okay, cool.
Alright, so the first story concept is a woman obsessed with a Red Sox pitcher has an hallucinatory journey and is followed by a wasp-faced villain.
I feel like that's real.
The second one
We'll find out.
is a man who is struggling with a recent divorce finds himself slowly and gruesomely turning inside out.
That sounds like Shawshank Redemption right there.
And then the third is a recluse who drinks a bad beer carrying a mutagen, turns himself into a disgusting cat-eating blob.
What?
I'm gonna go. Wait, so one's fake.
One isn't fake.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like
gonna
one's
say number
real.
2.
Karen wouldn't come up with Red Sox.
Yeah,
I feel.
exactly.
That
Yeah.
is fair.
I'm gonna
That
say
is
number
fair.
2's fake.
I don't think she even knows who the Red Sox are now.
I do. They're baseball. Hey,
They're baseball.
They're not a baseball.
They are.
They're not a
baseball.
They're not a baseball team. As a whole, they are the sport.
Yeah.
Cool.
A man who's struggling with the divorce finds himself slowly. I feel like
I'm locking in 2.
I feel like number 2. Yeah.
I'm pretty confident.
I'm gonna say 3.
I think I might go with Ben because I know he writes some crazy ass shit, but that sounds.
2's reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons. Honestly,
What is it? What was it again?
A man who is struggling with divorce and finds they slowly
Oh, cat
recently
eating.
turning inside out.
Wait, was that
Cat eating's the third
The
one.
third one. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like the Inside Out sounds like something he'd do. I don't know.
Does it?
Yeah.
I feel like it
But
would.
here we have
Alright,
number 1.
I'll go 3.
There is a wasp-faced villain. So a villain with a face of a wasp.
Yeah, no, that's
Seems
something he'd
legit.
do,
Seems
yeah.
legit. Yeah.
Number 2 is a man who's struggling with a divorce and he slowly turns inside out. Maybe that's a metaphor, who knows? And then the third one is a recluse who drinks a bad beer, turns into a blob.
Can we talk about why that's a metaphor? But
after. I feel like I'm going with Blob.
I'm gonna
with
go Blob. Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
going
go
with
number
Blob,
3.
and you two are going with Inside
Locking
Out.
in too.
All right, so Simon and Kelsey, you are the victors.
Damn.
Damn it!
Yes, I wrote the Fantastic Divorce Story, and
Okay.
Stephen King, if he's listening to this, you can take that. That's yours. That's
It
fine.
fits very well.
It does.
does, yeah.
So what were the other 2 then?
So, the other 2 were. They basically are, I think, more short story.
I was going to say short
okay.
stories, aren't they?
I'm just getting up the names now. The Grey Matter is the one with him turning into a blob, and it's from Night Shift, which I think is a thing of short stories.
Yeah.
And the first one is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, 1999.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, 1999. He has written so much stuff.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So
for sure.
there was heaps more that I could have put
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. But I thought 3 was enough. But yeah,
So
I
what
want
do
to.
we win?
Yeah, I'm so proud of us.
I guess
What do we
it's
get?
candy if it's Halloween.
You
I
in
mean,
my
yeah.
favor.
Candy.
You don't die tonight.
Okay.
That actually feels more like a
That's a
bad
threat
thing.
towards that.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's a bad thing.
How about Nick and Ben do die?
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
a
that
reward.
Makes it better because then we actually get something.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm down for that.
Cool. Victory.
Go to the good place. Screw you all.
You'll go to the good place.
Oh, absolutely
The
not.
good place.
Absolutely.
Inverted commas. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, yeah, that was my Stephen King segment.
I like it.
And then I've
I
also
think we're
got
going into a new one.
yes, Monster Mash.
the monster bug.
I hate this so much.
Okay,
I
so
absolutely hate
Monster Mash is where we put 2. It's like Bunker Battle, but because I'm not that clever, but 2 like Halloween themed villains / monsters are put in a fight club, and who wins in a fight,
okay,
that
right.
kind of
Okay,
thing.
so we're going to say, who wins in a fight between two monsters?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's
So
fine.
my first one is Frankenstein's monster
Yep.
and Hyde.
Hide.
Jekyll and Hyde.
I'm going Hide.
Right. Yeah, I'll go Hyde.
I feel like he's bigger and he could just bash the shit out of Frankenstein's monster.
I feel like Frankenstein's monsters, I feel like is easy to manipulate.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's got
he's like-
height, but he hasn't really got intelligence.
Did you say it was just Hyde or it's
It's
both
just
of them?
Hyde.
Just Hyde.
Oh well, then yeah. Right, he doesn't have the downside of
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
It would just destroy Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Because the thing, yeah, if it was Jekyll and Hyde, then Hyde would have almost like a time limit almost. Until
And
it just turns
a
into Jekyll
weakness.
and
Yeah, no,
gets
it would be
destroyed.
Jekyll and Hyde because
Yeah,
Hyde
it's just
doesn't
Jekyll
exist on his
turned into
own.
Hyde.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jekyll turned
Yeah,
into
yeah,
Hyde.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Either way, I still feel like
I
he
think
wins.
Hyde.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Hyde.
I think he'd have even though he's like a bit crazy, he'd still have some kind of technique to his fighting style as well. Whereas I think like Frankenstein would be like, "Moo!" and
Yeah.
then just like randomly flail.
Actually, Frankenstein in the original novel is quite intelligent.
Yes, I know he's
But I do
intelligent,
think
but I
he
feel like
would be a
Hyde,
bit of a
he's not a
pacifist.
trained
Yeah.
fighter.
yeah,
No,
I feel
yeah.
like
Huge.
Hyde would just jump on top of him and bash the living shit out
Yeah,
of him.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. Whereas Frankenstein's monster is more intelligent and
Slow.
And
And
yeah, he can be
slow.
sweet. You know, the girl in the water that he
Yeah.
kills.
The whole point is that Frankenstein's monster wasn't a monster; he was just ugly.
yeah.
So this is just mean.
This is actually quite mean. I went.
We're the monster.
Happy Halloween,
All right,
everyone.
all right. Let's do a better one. How about Hyde versus the Hulk?
The Hulk.
Hulk is
That's no
indestructible.
context.
Hulk kills everyone.
Yeah.
That is
Can
just
kill everyone.
legitimately no contest. Because as angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. So he gets more angry, he gets, stronger. Just consistent,
infinitely, and he never
yeah.
runs out of
Strength.
juice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we also have Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers.
Ooh.
Oh,
I actually don't know.
I'm gonna go. Wait, what's Jason's weapon? A hockey stick?
It's a machete.
Oh, a machete. Why
No,
you had
it-
the
it
mask?
goes
he's got,
with
no,
the
he's got,
costume.
he's got the
Yeah.
hockey mask and it's a machete, but he's quite slow
I'd go-
moving from
I
memory.
mean, Michael
Michael-
Myers is pretty slow.
They're both pretty slow movers.
So you
But
got
Michael
a
My-
knife or a larger knife?
Yeah.
Well, one's a machete, technically.
Still a big knife.
Yeah, I feel like actually.
Or a fight knife.
He's got face protection that helps. That gives you a bit
Jason.
of an edge. Yeah,
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
True.
Technically.
Because
Yeah.
Michael Myers just has a William Shatner mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
God, they're such rip-offs of each other. Anyway.
Maybe Jason then, because not only is his little weapon longer, so he could like
got more
attack
reach.
from afar.
Yeah, he's got the reach.
They're
He's
both
got a-
built the same.
Are they?
Yeah.
Who's taller?
I feel like
Jason?
they're
I
both
feel like
the
Michael.
same.
Also, Jason has a family history of being a murderer,
Yeah.
which probably I don't know. That might.
I mean, they're
enter
both
into it, his
they're both
DNA.
psychopaths.
They're both nuts.
What's
Yeah.
Jason's background? I don't know Jason's story. Is he just a
He's
psycho as
just
well?
a serial killer. I
Serial-
think.
Yeah,
he's
just like Michael?
Yeah.
Pretty much, but like
Yeah, from
nothing,
memory.
nothing specific that
Yeah.
is worthwhile mentioning.
Well, I think
nothing that I can
maybe,
think of.
yeah, maybe just
He
Jason
doesn't
because
have
he
like
has
a
the mask.
weakness.
I'm gonna say Jason as well.
I'll say Jason, but because he has the machete,
Just for the reach.
he's got that extra inch of reach.
Yeah, he can like attack.
Yeah, exactly. That'll work.
It's the gun of the knife world.
I'm sorry, but the gun of the knife world would be a sword.
Yeah, I mean we're getting closer.
Or even like a spear.
Yeah.
If you go that far.
Yeah.
Or a pole arm. That was awful.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think after that brilliant tidbit,
That was great.
We have the FilmBunker team. We had a survey with some very complex algorithms where we went through all of the iconic Halloween films. They're not all scary movies. They're just Halloween themed. And we went through and we all rated them, giving 10 points to the best, 1 point to the worst. I went through and did all of the maths. And now we'll do a countdown of each of these films in order from how FilmBunker as a team have all voted for it.
Can you put on like a voice like an announcer? You know, like
That would be
number
great.
10.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Okay.
So are we going to talk? We're going to talk about each film as they come up. We're
Yes.
not just going to blast through this
No, it's
top
like,
10.
yeah,
So
no,
it's like
it's
hottest
fine, 4, 3,
100
2, 1.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so number 10
Nice.
is Carrie.
I did not vote for that one at all.
Never
I
heard of
did.
it.
Really?
how have you not heard of Carrie?
Seriously?
Heard of
I have
Carrie?
never heard of
Dude,
it.
I know it, and that's saying something.
I don't know.
It's a Stephen King.
Yeah,
it can be
it's a
missed,
Stephen
so-
King one.
Well,
okay.
that's right. It's number 10.
It's basically the story of this girl hitting puberty and getting powers and killing everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Sabrina.
Yeah.
On meth.
Minus
Yeah.
the killing everyone.
It's more like
yeah.
Matilda.
It is.
Yeah.
Just
more-
if
it is
Matilda
more-
went
like
dark.
brutal
Gross.
Matilda.
Spooky
Yeah.
Matilda.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the scene, Simon, where it's you got like a girl at like a prom on stage, and then they pour like
Pig's
blood
blood on
pig's
it.
blood or red paint or something like that.
It's
on
pig's
them?
blood.
It's pig's
I know,
blood.
but there's spoofs of like other things.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen
That's like the
that scene?
iconic scene
Yeah.
from it, basically, because then she goes nuts and kills
Well,
everyone.
Yeah.
Great.
And sets the place on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It was interesting that it got to number 10.
I gotta ask, is it the original, obviously?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original.
So not the newest, not the newer
There's
one.
Yeah.
a new one.
There is
Yeah,
a
but-
couple years
Chloe
ago.
Grace Moretz is Carrie in the new
Yeah.
one, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's right.
Honestly, I've seen it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I've heard
you
it's
may as
alright.
well watch the first one though. It's for
Yeah.
people that don't like movies that are too old and they were like, "Oh, I want a newer one."
It's pretty.
That's
it's,
fine.
It's pretty shot for shot. I
Yeah.
think from memory.
Yeah. So I voted it quite high. I voted it at number 7.
I didn't even put
Wow.
it. I didn't even
think
put it on
Carrie.
there.
either.
Yeah, I think Carrie for me might have been early, like
Yeah.
5, 4.
Okay, I have a question now because I'm really confused because we're counting them down from 10 as the
Yeah.
lowest to 1.
Yeah,
but
ignore the
No,
points.
that
Ignore
was
the
just
points.
that was just granting points.
That
That's
was
different.
granting. There's an algorithm in place.
No,
Just trust
yeah,
my
I understand,
algorithm.
but when you
Stop,
say that
stop,
you voted
stop.
at number 7, you meant
7 points, so it's
so
high.
it was third.
It was third.
Yes.
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 No, it was fourth.
Fourth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we say that because I think that's clearer. If you
Yeah.
say you
Yeah.
voted at fourth.
I voted
That's
fourth.
yeah, cool.
Highest.
And I voted it like 7th.
Yeah. There you go.
Mine was NA.
I don't think I voted for it.
I don't think I
I'm
did.
Yeah.
forgetting, even though I was probably the last one to do it.
It's interesting that both the girls voted for it because I think it is.
Well, yeah, it's probably more aimed at
It's
you two.
yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Like in a genre that's like predominantly dominated then anyway by males. I guess like Carrie was a little bit different in that way that they were showing like a teenage girl's experience.
yeah, they showed a period in the first.
in the first scene.
Scene,
Yeah,
yeah.
her getting her period and stuff, and it's like that's not really a normal horror thing, let alone
Yeah.
a thing that. Yeah, I don't know. I can appreciate it for what it is. I think I didn't love it as a horror though. Like it's not always my go-to horror. Just because it's a different type. I'm very
Yeah.
generic with my horror. I quite like like slasher flicks and stuff like that. Whereas that one was very psychological and dealt with issues more than anything else. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way about it. I really enjoy Carrie. It is iconic for a reason, I would say, and especially Brian De Palma's version. The split screen that he does and that whole prom scene is really, really well done.
The
and it
tension
does,
built up from that is
yeah,
insane.
split screen should never work, and it was pretty new in when he made it for doing that split screen in that way, and people have tried to replicate it and they've never got it as well as he got it there. So that's why I voted it so high. I think is just because it's iconic and it is done really, really well. So are we ready for the next? Okay.
Yes.
Number 9 is Scary Movie.
Yay.
That makes sense. Yep.
Solid.
I will say, I
also
put a
didn't
big
rate
fat, I give it a big fat 0 points.
Yeah, I gave it 0.
I did not rate this
Yeah, me
at
neither.
all.
I think it's all down to me and Matt. I put it 3rd.
Oh, dang.
Matt,
I gave it 2 points, so that was 8.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it nothing.
I gave it something, nothing impressive. I don't think.
I never cared for any of
I
the
think
scary
Matt
movies.
may
and
have
things
put
like
it
that.
quite high because
Yeah.
he did vote, but he couldn't be here today, and
He's dead.
yeah, yeah. It's
Halloween, it's dead.
Yeah,
He
alright.
put it second to last.
Second to
he
last?
gave it,
Oh,
he gave it
okay,
2
all right.
points.
Yeah, so probably basically it's all down to me.
Yeah, you gave it like a 10 or something.
No, I gave it 8 points, so 3rd.
Still pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because I just love those first 2 movies, and I've watched them a million times, and they make me laugh.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And they're good spoofs. I mean, there's not many good spoofs of things around lately.
No.
Like, and straight spoofs. Whereas the Wayans brothers made 2 really good spoofs in those first 2 movies. It kind of peters off after that. The third one's
It most definitely does. Yeah.
yeah. The third one's okay-ish. It's all right, but it doesn't do any. It's like more about War of the Worlds, which isn't even horror anyway. So,
Is it Signs?
the
third one?
it's
There
War
was
of the
a lot
Worlds.
of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit in it. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I
more
remember
War of the
War
Worlds.
because I remember.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one with Charlie Sheen and they're living on the farm and
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah, I think Signs is thrown in there at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
But yeah, the first 2, there's a lot of different. I mean, they spoof Scream.
The second one is my favorite.
yeah,
when
sec-
they go to the
second one.
house.
It is. Yeah, that's the best one.
And the jokes between the guy with the hand and the guy in the wheelchair. Anyway, that's
Oh,
a
yeah,
dark
yeah.
place, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, do you want a hand? I'm like, be the bigger man and walk away. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and then there's
my humour.
they spoof the Poltergeist. Yeah, Scream. I Knew What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
There's so many in there, and basically every time I watch it, I think I find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt is very intent that we mentioned that David Cross's performance in Scary Movie 2 is
Yes.
amazing, and the scene where he tries to get up the stairs is hilarious. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what
that's
any
from
of that
Thanks,
means?
Matt.
And he said,
I've seen the film.
yeah,
okay, cool.
and he makes, is it Anna Faris that's watching him go up the stairs, and he's like
think
almost
so.
making her just crack up laughing during the
Yeah.
scene? Yeah. He was very intent on us telling that story.
okay, and number 8 is The Exorcist.
I forget what I put this at,
I thought that would
but I
have
gave
been
it
high.
points. I think it doesn't age well.
Agreed.
I didn't even vote for it.
It's quite slow. I saw it a while ago. It's quite slow.
It is
I
slow.
think
It's
that's
very,
my
very
thing.
slow.
Yeah.
And frankly, the payoff isn't super great for it.
It was at the time,
Yeah.
but now
it's not. It
What
just,
they did with like the little doll version and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that, like technology wise, if you can call it that, I thought that was really cool. And I don't know, like the what is it, the pea soup or whatever? Like that's sort of
Yeah.
now just become famous, and I don't know how
Yeah.
I like movies that can do that. That it becomes its own thing over time. That you don't even need to have seen it to know their head spinning and the projectile
Yeah.
vomiting
Yeah.
and
yeah, exactly.
And also the like historical kind of place of this film where it's just banned everywhere and the Catholic Church hated it, and then people were screaming everywhere and saying how scary it was, and it was one of, you know, that, what is it, the Haunted House on the Hill?
Yeah,
One of
yeah,
the new
yeah.
series.
Them, yes.
And they're still putting out articles like people are passing out and vomiting.
I'm sorry,
and
people don't pass out.
no,
from
they
movies.
don't. I do not believe a word of it.
No.
And that was the same hype with The Exorcist
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
70s. People were talking about how disgraceful and disgusting it was, and the Catholic Church hated it. And I just like that. I think that going back and watching it as well and seeing that it's actually not that bad.
No, it's not. There is some freaky stuff. I don't know if you remember the when she's spider walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
Fucking horrifying.
Yeah, that's
That is
scary.
Feral
That's
and
very
disgusting.
scary.
And that one scene alone, I'm just like, I'm out. I don't want to do this.
So going on to number 7, we have Psycho.
Didn't vote for it.
cool.
I did vote for it,
think I
mostly
voted-
just for how iconic it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it
it's
kind of earns its place. And again, I like that it's there for a different reason too. It's not gory like your typical horror.
It's more just a thriller.
Yeah, I would say it's
Yeah.
a thriller, and I like I don't know, yeah, they're just, it's good at what it does. Like I like the music, it builds tension. I like the villain, what's his name?
Norman Bates.
Norman
Bates.
Bates,
Yeah, he's just so creepy and like intense in the most awesome way. I don't know. Yeah, I like a lot of
And
it.
Hitchcock had to be in there at some point.
Of course, yeah.
He did. And I think with Psycho as well, like there wouldn't be Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah.
or Halloween without Psycho. So
There
it
wouldn't be a
makes
lot
sense.
of horror
yeah.
movies without Psycho.
So it makes sense that Psycho's in here. I think it would be a little bit of a what's the word? It wouldn't be justice if we didn't have Psycho in there.
Somewhere
I
in the
think.
list.
Just
Yeah.
somewhere.
Everybody else has said everything about it better than we have. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty
There we
much.
go.
Look up the
basically.
article.
Yeah. Look up an article or a journal article.
I'll put my vote in for Birds. If the Hitchcock movie, it's pretty freaky.
No, Birdemic is way better than Birdemic is the best. Alright, at number 6 we have Saw. We've already spoken on this podcast a lot about
We
Saw.
have.
I can appreciate it for what it is. This is the type of horror movie I'm not down for. I've not seen it. I want to know bits and pieces of it, so I've looked things up separately. But this is the exact type of stuff that I can't deal with. Even like thinking about it makes me feel gross. But like I appreciate. I like the unique storyline and Jigsaw and how he's a fucking psycho, and I like the whole kind of. What would be the word for a movie? Like bottle episode style, like you're mostly contained
guess
to
so,
yeah.
one.
That's the first
Place.
one anyway.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm talking
let's
about.
not.
yeah.
Yeah, let's not
ones.
go into the other ones.
But yeah, I think I like that, and I like that they use that visceral sort of stuff. Obviously to get a rise out of people, like because it clearly works on
worked,
me.
yeah.
And I think that's really smart, and a lot of movies have since then taken that sort of stuff of like how uncomfortable can we make you, or you have those conversations when you're like drunk with your friends. It's like, would you rather like saw off your own leg, or like I like that they actually ask those sorts of questions of like if you're in a situation where you've got to do that, what would you do? And yeah, it's good.
Part of the reason I voted for it as well is because you got an Australian screenwriter. And
That helps. Sure.
That's just
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
No, honestly, everyone really voted this in the middle of
Yeah.
their list.
Yeah, it is a
like
middle.
it was all 4
Yeah.
points, 5 points. So
Yeah.
sixth
That's where I
and
put it
fifth.
too. Yeah.
I think
So
I think I'm just over it at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, it did get oversaturated with the 11 or whatever sequence.
And there was even a newer one recently.
Yeah, there
No,
was.
there was
more like
7 or 8.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the 6th in the cinemas after only having seen the first one because I just
Wow.
went with someone.
That is
random.
a leap of faith.
Yeah, I just went with someone randomly because I had nothing better to do. And they were like, we're going to see this movie. I was like, all right, I went there and I was like, this is garbage. I have no idea what the fuck's going on and this is garbage.
I think they focused on like cool traps and then let's
Yeah, it was
ignore the
it was
plots.
all cool traps, but then this had like this plot with the detectives and we
but
said we
those
weren't
are-
going to talk about it.
Those are always the worst parts of
Yeah.
these movies.
Go for
Yeah.
hours. I think,
Exactly.
on the franchise.
And then we have Scream.
And what
It's
number
just-
was that?
Woo! Number 5.
Yay!
So right in the middle.
Yeah, I think I
Six
put it in the
Scream.
middle. Yeah.
Yeah, again, this was another one. Saw and Scream were all in the middle of people's
Yeah.
lists, but they switched places.
I begrudgingly put it in there, even though I get mistaken for Matthew Lillard all the freaking time, all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I'm not even kidding. It's really annoying.
You get mistaken for him? Because I mean, like,
Oh, it's like, oh, you look like Matthew Lillard. Sorry, yeah. It's, oh, you look like Matthew Lillard.
being mistaken for.
Whatever.
I
I'd like to
think
think
somebody
that.
goes up to him, he's like, Matthew, have you been? And he's like, not again.
I think legitimately it's actually happened once.
The next
But
time
I've
you
been
see you on
told
the
many.
street.
I've been told many times that I look like him, and it's annoying. But it's a good movie, and he's good in it, and they're all good in it, and yeah, it's a fine movie.
Yeah.
It is a
It's
fine
fun.
movie. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think I what I love most about Scream, like this is a horror that I'm down for. I like just lovely murder,
Lovely murder.
like just killing people,
straight up
getting
murder.
shit
It
done.
is really
And,
straightforward.
and I really like how it takes the piss from horror
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
while still being a horror movie rather than a scary movie where it's kind of
Yeah,
changing
that's
its
a
genre.
that's a
yeah.
full parody, whereas Scream
Yeah.
parodies horror movies while still being a horror movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love.
It's really harder to do. as
Yeah,
well.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And then we have, at number 4, the Evil Dead series.
On number 4.
Number 4.
Damn it.
No, I will tell you, the Evil Dead series is at number 4 because 2 of us voted it 10th. And voted it 10 points, which was first, like best ever.
I wonder who that
One
was.
person voted it, I think, like 7th or 8th, so only gave it like 3 points.
That was me, I think.
But because of that, it got to number 4.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't vote for it.
Yeah,
I
me
haven't seen
neither. I
it.
don't care.
Oh, no,
You
it
should
is.
all be ashamed.
Oh, and I
It
think
should be number 1.
I think Matt also voted for
He
it
would have
quite
voted for it.
low.
Yeah.
But he said that, again, this is another message from Matt from Beyond the Grave. He did say that
He did die.
Yeah.
So for the Halloween, really committed to it.
Yeah, okay. So Beyond the Grave, Matt did kind of say that he voted for Evil Dead because of how iconic it was. And it was the comedy horror like it is in Scary Movie, but it's done in an artful way, and he couldn't not put it on the list because of how iconic it is. I just voted it number 1 because I love it.
I love it, and also I put it number 1 because it has influenced so much. Sam Raimi's like shots influenced, even like you can see it influenced in Edgar Wright's like sequencing, like where he does like those quick movements when he's putting the chainsaw on. It's the type of thing Edgar Wright uses in like Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead. Like it has influenced things along with just being a brilliant series.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. And also it's like just
It's so awesome though.
and Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, man.
is great. It is.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Bruce Campbell is amazing. And
What's the old adage about him? Was it he's had sex with like how many women or whatever? It's some ridiculous thing.
Yeah, he's had sex with a ridiculous number of women. It's like the old adage, just because he is so charming and so charismatic, and he just carries those film/TV show.
Because I mean, he's by himself for most of it,
Yeah, he's by himself for most of the second film.
and the third, really.
There are people around him in the third, but he is the focus. And he wins at it. It's great. He's
a
awesome.
lovable, bumbling hero.
Yeah. So enough said about that. We have got at number 3, our second Stephen King entry is The Shining.
Yay.
I was up The Shining.
I'm surprised it ranked that high, actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
yeah.
I put it reasonably high just because of influence again.
Yeah.
Everyone
think I gave
voted for it, I think.
I think I gave it first.
I can't remember what
Personally,
I did.
yeah.
I can't remember what I did, but I didn't think it was... I thought I put it in, but I didn't think I was generous with the...
I think it's
Yeah.
just fucking weird. It's just
I like the slip into insanity. It's really
Oh yeah, no,
cool.
it's all very good, and honestly, I'm a sucker for anything with Jack Nicholson in it,
Yeah.
especially something like that. It's just a fucking weird movie, but I remember watching it and just being tense all the time.
Yeah, and that's doing its job then, right?
Thinking about it still makes me tense. It's the probably a horror movie I remember the most.
I like the score, I like the... Dun,
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's like...
The fun fact about it, though, is Stephen King hates it.
Yeah, which
He-
bums me out.
Interesting.
There was a really, low-budget TV movie release of it, and he said yes to that one, and he likes that one over the Kubrick one. So,
Which also, fun fact, Kubrick's only horror movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
True,
Kubrick's
actually,
only
yeah.
horror
Did he
movie.
maybe feel like he butchered it too and decided to...
No, I'm sure Kubrick didn't think he butchered anything.
Also spawned one of the best Simpsons episodes ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shitten.
Yeah.
No beer, no TV,
Yeah,
makes
always
more
goes back
stuff.
I had to put it in there. I had to put it in there.
Shh, do you want to get sued? Dude.
Yeah. Now,
Shouldn't.
the top 2 are really surprising. The top 2 actually really surprised me, because sitting at number 2 is a very recent entry, and it's Get Out.
Oh, get out.
Get out!
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's 100% recency syndrome. But I put it second as well.
No, Matt rated it as his best. He
I
rated
think
it
I
top.
gave it second or third or something up there.
I think I was nice to it too.
Yeah.
I'm lame and haven't seen it yet, so I didn't even vote for
No,
it.
I didn't vote for it.
Get
either.
out!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God, it's
It's just everyone voted for it so high. There were 4 people who voted it very high.
It's good.
It is
It's
a damn good
incredible.
film. It really is.
Yeah.
Has a lot of depth to it. It deals with like today's culture in a really really
Yeah.
good way, which is why I think if we're doing the list now, it kind of is better than a lot of the films on there. A lot of the classics.
It is.
It's just more relevant now.
It is.
Yeah.
Do this in 10 years, it's probably not going to be on the list anymore. But
It'd be more on the list than any of the other older ones, personally, I think.
maybe.
Well, the other ones have stood the test of time. We're not sure about
Can
Get Out.
can they stand more?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
they've already stood 40 or 50 years.
Yeah,
so.
they're not getting knocked
Try
off.
to be devil's advocate. This is
Nah.
what happens. All right.
You're just wrong. But no, Get Out, I can understand why it has, again, because of that recency syndrome, but also because people loved it. People absolutely adored it. And I think that it's one that people are happy to revisit. I'm not sure whether it's very scary, because I haven't seen it yet.
It is not.
Not
that
really.
scary.
No.
It's,
It's
like
hard to even call it a horror movie,
it's
honestly.
like social commentary turned into something that's kind of really creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
So yeah.
It's not scary, though.
Yeah.
It's more like a psychological horror, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's what I call it.
Which is probably why I like it a lot, honestly. I don't go for straight horror, generally speaking, or anything
Yeah.
gory like that.
It's interesting, because I put it on the list thinking that, some people may vote for this one, and then, yeah.
I want to say one thing though. I don't think this is a Halloween movie.
I would argue. No, I wouldn't.
I think we scratch it from the list.
and put one on there.
Disqualified.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to do a re. Is there a 11th?
Yeah, let's get it
I
done.
can tell you what would go 10th if you scratched out.
Cool.
that
Yeah,
from the
let's do
list.
that. Let's do that.
It would be Monster Squad.
I hate this.
Yes!
Put Get Out back on.
No,
Get Out
Monster
over this.
Squad.
It's shit. Put Get Out back on.
No, Monster Squad is the best. All right, it is. The reason it's probably just scraping in at 11.
What you do, Simon?
I'm sorry.
Because you would have rated it so high.
I rated it second. Even then Monster Squad. Monster
so
Squad
good.
is the best.
I have
Okay.
not seen this movie.
Dracula calls a little girl a bitch. We have a German book, and there's a Nazi Germany survivor in the town, and he has a really dark, interesting moment, but then the rest of it is just kids with monsters. Frankenstein's monster's a sweetheart, Dracula's the main villain, all these monsters come and fight in this small town, and it is 80s cheese at its finest.
Great.
Monster Squad.
You put this
Down
movie
for it.
on there just for you. Be honest.
Wow.
It's neither here nor
That's
there.
I think it's the perfect Halloween movie, but there's that. So
Okay.
So number one.
number one.
I read it.
Yeah, everyone read it. But
We did hide
before
it.
we do number one, I will do a few honourable mentions. So Monster Squad was 11th, but then under that we had Beetlejuice, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Practical Magic are all honourable mentions.
What's the lowest one?
The lowest one, the ones that didn't rate at all, were Blair Witch Project got 1 point. The Craft got 1 point.
Okay.
Rosemary's Baby didn't get any points.
Okay.
I voted
never
for
heard of it.
What about Paranormal Activity? I voted for that.
Yeah, I voted for that as well, I think.
Paranormal Activity was actually
It would have been close.
It was close.
Yeah.
It was
Twice or
also
something.
on the same level as Practical Magic.
Right.
All of that. And Poltergeist also was very
I was
close.
wondering where Poltergeist was. I put that, I think, kind of up there.
Yeah, they were all very, very close, but they didn't make the list.
A Quiet Place. Was that in the list?
It wasn't.
Was not.
Oh, can we replace a Get Out with a Quiet Place?
I don't think that's a Halloween movie.
I don't think we
Start
can
with
slot
the
it
list.
up
I'm
there,
going to
though.
go with number one on the list because they're just going to keep
Alright,
trying to change the list.
Yeah.
This is the solidified list.
But what about no?
But Get Out's not in it anymore,
What
and
about
Monster
Alvin and
Squad
the
is.
Chipmunks?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm sure it's a Halloween movie.
There is a
in
Halloween
someone's
movie
head.
of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Okay.
Yeah.
at number one is Cabin in the Woods.
Yay!
That's fair.
That was
Yep.
my number 10.
That was my number. Yeah,
Yeah, that was my
number.
number
I
two.
said
Wait,
number one.
Yeah.
That was my number
Same.
3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, I
it was up
voted
there.
it quite high.
I think I had that second.
Yeah, it seems it was an all-rounder. People had it quite high.
It just hits a lot of.
It hits a lot of people.
No, I don't. Yeah, it just gets all the dot points of a horror movie, and it is a horror movie.
Yeah, and it is a Halloween movie because it has
is.
all the monsters in it, and that elevator scene is
Oh,
amazing.
it
it's
is
so
the
good.
best
It's
scene
so
in
good.
the world.
So
But then you get breaks in between with some of the comedy as well, which
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like.
it's great.
It's
It's
great.
so,
What you need.
yeah.
I would actually say that it is a good number one for a
is.
Halloween movie, especially because
Yeah.
you could watch that at Halloween and you get
does
all
it
your
all.
spooks and
It does-
scares
it does
and
do it all.
comedy and
Chris Hemsworth
everything.
driving a motorcycle
Yeah.
right into us. That's
Yeah.
just gold.
It's
Yeah.
golden. It's
Yeah.
it's really good. So yeah, that's our number one for today.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch anything this Halloween, watch Cabin in the Woods.
So I would say that's in the bunker, just automatically because
Yep.
it won.
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, but can we still do a bunker battle? Because last episode
No.
we didn't do a bunker battle. It really triggered me.
This is a Halloween special, so no.
Apparently, we all play nice on Halloween.
Yeah, and we just ranked 10 movies, so I think that's good enough.
Not happy about that.
I don't care because you put Monster Squad on there by default. Apparently, by trying to get rid of Get
Can we
Out.
put Monster Squad in the bunker?
No,
I would happily put Monster Squad in.
I think at this rate, I'm just gonna not be in the bunker. I'm just gonna.
Alright,
You're just
Sweet.
gonna die?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the nukes to
Choose
hit.
death? Yeah.
We'll be hanging out with Judi Dench and John Hamm and 2 Tom Hardys, and you can.
And I'll be in the good place.
Sure.
Yeah, air quotes, good place.
So why don't we wrap it there for this week? Thanks everyone for listening to this Halloween special of the FilmBunker Podcast. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed.
Cookie spooks.
Catch you next time. Bye.
Okay.